Thanks for staying with us on this edition of Vision. Cedric Vaughn. On this segment, we want to talk about an important subject. It is the subject of education, in particular early childhood education. Our guest today is Dawn Owens, and she's with Tandem Early Education Consulting, LLC. Mrs. Owens, thanks for being here with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Very excited. You and your partner have been doing great work with Tandem Early Education Consulting, LLC.
Yes.
Did I say that?
Yes, you
okay.
did.
Okay. All right, great. And just kind of course, we know how important education is, early education for our children to get started on the right track and get started early. Just kind of give us a vision overall for starting the company.
Well, I taught kindergarten for 9 years in Montgomery Public Schools, and then I had 3 children of my own. Early childhood was always a passion of mine, and when I started working for the state of Alabama, I went to work for the Department of Children's Affairs that housed Alabama's first-class pre-K that we've heard so much about in the news.
Yes, we have.
Tandem actually started on the football field at the Y. My partner and I met through our children who were the same ages, and we began to talk about, you know, what we did, and we both had a background in early childhood education, and we had similar passions about helping programs, and we just figured out through getting to know each other that we both had a shared passion, and then we both had strengths and weaknesses that kind of bounced off each other, our strengths and experiences. So we felt like we had something special, and because of the climate for early childhood nationwide, we felt like there were a lot of opportunities available to us. So it just felt like a good time to just step out on faith and try it.
Well, you know, we believe in stepping out on faith on the Vision Show. That's what we do. Of course, entrepreneurship has a lot to do with stepping out on faith.
Yes.
You talked about you and your partner, and certainly it's a great name because you guys do it in tandem.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That's
right. That's where it came from.
Okay. All right. Now, the other thing that you said, which really helps to qualify you for this, is that you've had 3 children of your own.
Yes, sir.
To really talk about the issue of early childhood education.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So, understanding that as a mother gives you a little more insight in some of the things that are real important to remember with our youngest children, to talk to them, to read to them the things we don't think about. Those first 5 years of your life are when you're making all these connections. The brain is making all these connections. So the children need to be exposed to words, vocabulary, simply hearing words said to them and having an understanding, and having books read aloud to them. Those are 2 of the biggest things you can do for your children when they're from birth on.
So reading to them from the parent to the child, just reading books to them.
Reading books to them.
Now that helps with word association.
It does, and they learn about books, they learn about words, and they're also making connections there. So a child that has been exposed to books and words and vocabulary, they stand a better chance when they start off in school to be ready and prepared. Just exposure. I would just say exposure is everything. Exposing them to things when you're out and about with your children. If you're in the grocery store, pointing out colors, shapes, fruits, vegetables, identifying things and naming them for your children. It seems so simple, but it goes a long way.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, we hear your passion on that and see why you're called into this arena. What would you say then is your target market for your company?
Well, our target market is any program that serves children from birth really up until age 8 is the early childhood range. So this includes, and is not limited to, state agencies, Head Start programs, early Head Start programs, public schools, private child care, faith-based programs, and university lab schools. We offer training, coaching, mentoring. We do classroom setup. We do program assessments. We also help programs write grants, and we do conference and event planning.
Well, and that's one of the things that I remember hearing about you and your company, that you help organizations to write grants. Of course, everybody wants to know how to write grants.
Yes.
Very few people qualified, it seems, to really help people in that area. but I've heard great things about your accomplishments in that area.
Yes, well, the pre-K, the first class pre-K is a grants system. So you have to write a grant to receive the funding. So programs have to write a grant. The applications are out right now too for 2016, 2017. They're currently available online at www.children.alabama.gov. Okay. But we have helped and been successful helping some programs write for those grants and receive funding. Yeah. So that feels good to be able to help local programs with the funding, because a lot of times our programs struggle with that.
Yeah, and I've heard some of your success stories of some of your local organizations in particular. Now, speaking of success stories, I think you just did a conference.
We did.
When you talk about some of your current projects. Now, let me see if it was called the 10th Annual First Class Pre-K?
Yes.
Was that what it was called?
It was the 10th Annual Alabama First Class Pre-K Conference.
Okay.
And this year we had the opportunity to bid on the job, and we were the coordinators of the conference, and we moved the conference to Mobile. So there was a lot of change, and in the past couple of years we've had tremendous growth in pre-K classrooms served in Alabama. So we prepared for 2000, and we had like 1,976 people.
Is that right?
Yes, in Mobile.
Wow.
So it was a huge move, but it was a wonderful conference. We had so much support from the city, great speakers, nationally known speakers, and it was a good conference. And we're currently getting ready we're planning for 2017.
So you're saying that you said the conference was in Mobile. So you're saying you produced a conference that had 1,900 attendees?
We did. We had over 1,900 attendees, and we're planning for 2,500 people in 2017.
Wow. Now, what were some of the kinds of subjects and some of the types of subject matter that people learned about at that time?
Our underlying theme this year was developmentally appropriate practice, and that's important because whatever you're doing for children should be rooted in best practice. And so we believe that anything that you're doing with children, young children, should be developmentally appropriate for them. So that was our overlying theme, and we had speakers speak on literacy, early literacy, assessment, challenging behaviors with children, tips for working with children with disabilities. We had speakers come from special ed to talk about the transition from Part B to Part C to help teachers in early childhood programs prepare children to transition to your traditional school that have some disabilities or delays. We had just several national speakers come in. We had Eric Litwin, a writer of a famous book series, come in and talk about reading with children and different techniques to use during read-alouds with the teachers. The governor came.
Oh, the governor. Okay, so let's start right there. So the governor came to be with you?
He did.
He came to be with you too?
Yes, he's a big supporter of pre-K. He believes in it. He believes that it's good for Alabama's children. So he is working to make sure that pre-K is fully funded for our state by 2020. So that's huge.
So it sounds to me that you're saying that the conference was a success.
It was a huge success. We were very proud of it.
Wow. Well, now when we talk about the kinds of things, now who attended this conference? Were these educators, specialists? Were these parents? Who are the kind of people who attended? And who should attend even next year once they hear about this?
Pre-K teachers attend and auxiliary teachers. We also have some kindergarten teachers. We also have people that attend that want to know more about first class pre-K and how they can be connected. Head Start programs attend, public schools, military, faith-based, university. Some colleges send their students that are majoring in early childhood education, which is a great experience for them. State employees, anyone who touches the lives of young children should attend this conference.
That's excellent. I'll tell you what. So when you had the vision to put on this conference, so what are the belief systems that you operate off of that cause you to go in one direction versus another?
Well, first of all, we believe that all children deserve to access to high-quality, child-centered, and developmentally appropriate early childhood programs. We believe that families deserve to have high-quality options available to them wherever they are so that children can benefit from these high-quality programs. We believe that if we ensure these things for our most vulnerable population, that we can affect positive change statewide for all.
That's good. That's good. And so when you engage, so when people, who are the people who primarily contact you? Do parents, organizations primarily contact you? Because
Yes.
So you don't really want the parents call it, it's because they see you speaking so eloquently. The parents should not necessarily.
Well, if parents call me and they're unsure of how to connect to their local preschool program, I am happy to do that. And I do get calls from parents, and I tell them who to call and what they need to do. But now it's becoming a little more popular, and so programs and school systems are publishing the dates. For example, Montgomery Public Schools, the applications are online now, and I'm seeing more alerts from programs about the application processes. It used to be that it wasn't so widely discussed and people were really looking for information, but I'm happy to tell anyone anything that I know to help them get connected, because I know that parents are looking for these programs and want their children served.
And parents want the information, and many of our parents, they want to know how to effectively parent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we want them to have that. So what are some of the future plans for your company?
Well, coming out this conference, when we originally started, event coordinating was not exactly one of the things we thought we'd do, but fortunately we've had some opportunities come our way, and we've planned the pre-K conference, and this will be our 4th year planning the Alabama First Teacher Home Visiting Conference, which is a local conference. And we also coordinate the Infant Toddler Practitioner Academy for the Department of Human Resources. So we're looking to just continue with that. And my partner moved to Florida last August, and so we want to expand there. She's looking to start Tandem and connect to the early childhood community there. Excellent. So that we can work in Florida as well. And ultimately, I would love to see Tandem make a mark nationwide. I'd love to train and do some other things.
Nationwide vision. That is fantastic. Well, Mrs. Owens, we want to thank you for coming to be with us on the
program.
Thank you for having me. Information. Certainly want to encourage you to contact Mrs. Owens at Tandem Early Education Consulting LLC. Great program, great business, great opportunity. That's going to do it for us on this segment of Vision. We really enjoyed talking with our guest today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.